Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Super, how are you?
Oh, fabulous. Today's Tuesday. We always talk to your father on Tuesdays, so I always like that. Call and talk to my father-in-law. Tuesdays with Charlie coming up later in the program. Take a listen to this. Ask neighbors to watch the porch thieves. Buying online is easy. People a little over a week ago, did the whole big Cyber Monday thing. I'm not into that. But here's the problem. Click, pay, and it's delivered to your porch, right? And then it's stolen by thieves. Police are seeing a huge spike in front porch package thefts this year. Electronics are the most attractive item, but thieves are grabbing whatever because they don't know what's in the package.
Wow. So
there's children's bicycles and clothing. It says here, if you're not going to be home, have somebody watch for your package or have it delivered to you at work. You know, you were already wasting time at work buying it. Might as well waste a little more time at work getting it,
that's just
too.
awful that people do stuff like that.
Yeah, the Grinch that stole somebody's Christmas presents right off their front porch. So there you go. Takes all kinds, Heidi. Coming up, we got some special stuff to talk about. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, the 8th day of December, and today's actually kind of a fun day. Only one thing, but we're going to talk about this. It's called Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day. I didn't know that's what today was, but this would be very fun. To dress in some futuristic type of clothing and then go somewhere and ask people, what year is it? Mm-hmm. Who's the president right now? Oh, wow. I read about that in a history book. So today's a day to pretend to be a time traveler.
I don't think I'll be doing that. That's
would it be
just
more fun?
Stupid.
Here's my question. Would it be more fun to pretend like you're from the past and you came to the future? Or would it be more fun to pretend like you're from the future and you're going back into the past?
I don't think any of it sounds... I think it sounds so stupid.
I think it sounds fun. This would make a really fun YouTube video.
Oh, my gosh.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, I think it'd be awesome. So, anyway, today's the day. You're supposed to do that. Not that I'm going to, because she won't let me. But
you probably will. I just won't be with you.
To be a time traveler day today. All right, coming up, we got the human piggy bank. We're going to tell you all about that in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Listen to this. I'm referring to this guy as the human piggy bank. Sometimes you just don't know where to put your spare change, right?
Right.
Well, doctors performing emergency surgery on a man in Thailand. He was doubled over in pain when he got there. They were stunned when 4.2 pounds of loose change
oh my gosh.
came out of his tummy. 37-year-old Sang Panwat has apparently been swallowing coins for quite some time.
Oh my gosh.
Doctors say the man will need to stay hospitalized for a while because of the side effects the coins had on his body, and they'd been in there for a long time. So these are not side effects from just a day. I mean, this guy's had these things stored up for quite some time. Have you ever swallowed a coin?
No.
I remember as a child, I have almost anything I can think of. I have a story from my childhood that reminds me of it. But my friend Chris, I won't say his last name because I don't know if I'll protect the innocent. So my friend Chris, from when I was a kid, lived right across the street from me. Super fun kid. And he was, for whatever reason, going through this phase where he was trying to do magic tricks.
Okay.
So he said, hey, watch this. I'm going to make this disappear. And he took a dime, and he did this little thing, and then he showed me his hands. He had put the dime on his tongue. My brother Jason smacked him in the back, and he swallowed it. So it was funny because he was not expecting that. We'll put it that way. Anyway, we gave him a bunch of guff about that for a long, long time. So I'm not sure if it just stayed.
Guff.
Did it stay in
you
his
and your old
tummy?
Man words.
Did it stay in his
Why
belly?
do you use words like that?
I don't know. Hey, quit busting my chops, lady. Anyway, so does it stay in there? Because this guy over here in Thailand, been swallowing change for a long time, and it was all still in there. Did it stay in there?
I don't know.
Apparently it does.
I don't know.
Anyway, The dude in Thailand, 37-year-old Sang Pongswat, had 4.2 pounds of loose change
That is
spill out of his tummy when he went in
crazy.
for surgery. Yeah, they're going to have to... He needed some iron in his diet. All right, coming up, we've got some other fun stuff. A Brazilian drug cartel that wasn't all that smart on the way.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Doesn't exactly take, rocket scientists to catch these guys. Police in Sao Paulo arrested a group of men, and they searched them after a tip. They didn't find enough marijuana and cocaine on them to charge them with drug dealing. Luckily for the cops, the gang, they were thoughtful enough to use their cell phones to take pictures of themselves.
Oh, my gosh.
With kilos of cocaine and large amounts of marijuana. A spokesperson says, "We're really glad they were such show-offs. They helped us by registering their criminal actions on photo."
Wow.
So they took photos of themselves breaking the law, and then when they got arrested, even though they didn't have a lot of drugs on them at the time, they had evidence in their phones, photos in their phones of them breaking the law. So,
Gotta love that evidence, don't you?
well, yeah, evidence is a good thing. If you're ever going to go to court, don't go to court without it. I'm just saying, it's a good thing to have. And here's the thing: don't break the law, and then you won't get in trouble. See,
There
good
you go.
idea. Coming your way in a bit, we've got your moment of duh, and this one's a government-subsidized moment of duh on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
I've never been to India before. Have you been to India,
I have
Heidi?
not.
Nor have I. A bureaucrat from Kerala,
I gotta say that I'm
India.
not. That's not on my bucket list either. That's
Really?
not
I would
one
like
of
to
the
go.
places on
I
my-
would like to see the world. And India is part of the world, so I'd like to see it. But in Kerala, India, a government in great financial trouble right now, a bureaucrat took his wife and the Livestock Development Board manager to Australia. They flew there at their financially troubled government's expense. For what reason, Heidi? To buy a goat.
Oh,
The goat, by the way, cost twice as much in Australia as it would have in India. The Livestock Development Board manager said this was a special goat needed for research, but she couldn't explain exactly what was special about this goat. So a bureaucrat and his wife decided to go buy a goat in Australia, and it kind of looks to me more like a Australian vacation.
like a government.
While they were there, they're like,
vacation.
well, let's
we better
see.
do something. What do we need? We need a goat.
We should probably buy a goat while we're here. All right, we've got your scoop of the day coming up.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
And this is your scoop of the day. You know the whole 12 Days of Christmas song? Every
Yeah.
year somebody calculates, I don't know who does this, but every year somebody calculates how much it would cost. 10 Lords a Leapin', 3% increase over last year.
I
But
don't
the
understand
other-
how you could possibly calculate the cost
I don't
of
know.
10 Lords a Leaping.
I don't know. But the other 9
A partridge in a
gifts-
pear tree. Okay, yeah, you could purchase that. But most of the garbage on that list, first
Yeah.
of all, who would
Who would
want
want it?
any
I
of
don't
that?
Well, 9 of the other gifts on the 12 Days of Christmas stayed the same. The 12 Days of Christmas stayed the same price as last year for the most part. The Associated Press reported on their 32nd annual PNC Wealth Management Christmas Price Index that the set of gifts spelled out in the final verse of the song would cost how much, Heidi?
I really have no idea, and I don't care in the slightest.
$34,131, or a 0.6% increase over last year's $33,933. And it's those darn Lords of Leapin' that cost extra. Everything else was pretty much the same. Survey says 1 in 4 Europeans have fallen asleep at the workplace. I wonder what that number is for Americans. Have you ever fallen asleep at work?
No, I have. I can
Never?
honestly say I've not fallen asleep. I've been
I have.
tired enough to where I could.
I have.
But I've not. Yeah, but you can fall asleep anywhere.
I fell asleep standing up once. That was really
I can't.
embarrassing.
It takes me forever to fall asleep once I even lay down and try to fall asleep, unless
know.
I've had a few glasses of wine.
Then you're out before you even get to bed. I got to carry you. I'm just saying. All right, just in time for Christmas, Oscar Mayer selling a miniature Wienermobile. It's a remote control Wienermobile. How
Oh,
much do you
that'd be
think that would
fun.
be?
I'd like to have that.
$25.
Oh, I was going to say 60.
No, $25. All right, something that I'm going to scroll down here. Despite what you might think, studies show most Americans pack on no more pounds at the holidays than any other time of the year. It's just the fact that we have so much trouble losing the weight in the new year that says next year, one of those things we have is what they call again New Year's resolutions. Maybe we should start those now, and then you don't have to worry about it then. Researchers say brain scans help identify prison inmates who are likely to reoffend. Sounds to me like something right out of a movie.
Yeah, I don't
They're
think
able to
I
scan
like
your
that
brain to see if you're going to continue to be
plan.
good or if you're going to be bad. So, there you go.
Yeah. That's a slippery slope there.
I think so, too.
Because only certain people will know how to read those results. And if you have a corrupt system.
How can you be charged guilty of something you haven't done yet? Well,
Right.
you're going to repeat offend, you're staying in. All right, your social media profile can be a great asset for your job search, but you got to be careful. A Career Builder study shows it can also cost you the job. More than 2 in 5, the actual number is 43%, hiring managers say they currently search candidates on social media, and they have found info that has caused them to not hire the candidate that they were kind of interested in up until that point. So be very, very careful. All right, very obese older men hoping to live longer may be let down by a long-term study that found weight loss surgery did not increase the survival for people like them, at least during the first 7 years. So that's
So you have to keep it off for more than 7 years.
yeah.
To be
So
able
you
to.
have to. So there you go. I'm gonna just put my diet off for another year or two then. So.
No, you're not. No,
All right.
we're not.
I know. I'm just kidding. Hey, a gang who robbed an Italian supermarket and held the employees hostage left some money for the hostages before escaping. The 7 robbers had coffee, even chatted for a while with the staff while they were gathering their goods that they were going to steal. Then they took cash out of their own pockets and handed it to the staff of the store. After an hour, they thanked all the employees for their cooperation, paid them for their trouble. An unnamed employee says they apologized for having to scare us, and they told us to share the money without saying anything to the police. The gang escaped before anybody could alert the police. They have not yet been traced. So that was really nice of them. Even though they were breaking the law, at least they treated everybody decently, and they gave them money on the way out. They're like,
There you go.
You guys have been real troopers. We're gonna just make this worth your while. Don't call the police on us. All right, now your strange law. In Lang, Kansas, it is illegal to ride a mule down Main Street in August unless the mule is wearing a straw hat. Then you're okay.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's a strange law from Lang, Kansas, and this has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
And it's time right now for one of my favorite things we do all week long. Every Tuesday at this time, we pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little segment we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Today the sun is shining, beautiful.
Yeah,
Couldn't ask for a better day.
exactly.
Then I get a collect phone call,
Sorry about that.
and I'm stupid enough to answer the phone.
As long as you keep saying yes, we're going to keep on calling. What are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Well, let's see here. Hey, you know the Beach Boys?
I've heard of them.
You know Dennis Wilson was the only member of the Beach Boys who could actually surf,
I did know that.
but he died by drowning.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, I didn't know he died by drowning.
Yep.
That's too bad.
See, that's another reason we do this show, because it's action-packed knowledge.
Action.
We learn stuff every week.
Boom, zip. Let's see here. Hey, do you know that you would get a larger dose of radiation from eating a bag of potato chips every day than you would if you lived next door to a nuclear power plant?
Really?
I'm sure.
That's a lot of radiation then.
Where'd you get radiation out of chips?
It's probably the ones where they pick the potatoes from the field right next to the power plant.
You idiot. I don't think so. I think it's the gas they put in there to keep the bag full.
Oh, there you go.
That could be.
That's it.
We'll go with that.
Okay,
Kids,
let's
don't
go with
hold
that.
us to that one.
The Stardust in Vegas, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be my favorite casino. Went there many times.
I remember that
Loved
growing
it.
up. Every single time they went there, they always stayed at the Stardust. Is that still there?
They blew it up.
Oh, they blew it up?
Tore down years ago.
I remember when they imploded it, but I'd never been there.
22 years ago, a Stardust employee walked out of the hotel with $500,000 and was never seen again.
No kidding.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Hey, the old WW2, remember that?
I wasn't there, but I've heard of it, yeah.
British soldiers got a ration of 3 sheets of toilet paper a day.
Oh, wow.
Americans got 22 sheets a day.
Does that mean Americans are full of
You can't say that.
You can't say that word on the radio.
No. Thanks, Charlie.
There'll be a bleep there, I bet you.
Yeah.
Then the last two things here can pertain to me and Fluff, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
The first one's going to lead into the second one.
All right.
In the state of Kentucky, they have currently 4.9 million barrels of bourbon that are aging,
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a lot.
which exceeds the state's own population.
No kidding.
Have you ever had bourbon?
Well, Black Velvet,
That's bourbon. Oh, okay.
I don't know, bourbon, whiskey, it's all the same,
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
I just drink it. I don't care what it is.
I can tell you what I read about it. Bourbon is whiskey that they use different barrel for. It's where they burn out the barrels. It's named for the county it was invented in, Bourbon County. He was a cheapskate. He didn't want to build new barrels, so he just burned all the alcohol out of the old one. And then when they made the new stuff, it was a different color because of the ash from the inside. The charcoal. That's what I read a long time ago. So, again, I'm not an expert on bourbon by any means. So, kids, don't take that one to the bank either.
For a guy that don't drink, you sure know a lot about booze.
I have to Google a lot of stuff to figure out what was wrong with my wife on a Friday night.
Hey, then I got one last thing here then.
All right, what's that?
Okay, if people in the top 10% for alcohol consumption were to reduce their total consumption to that of the next lowest 10%, alcohol sales would drop by 60% in the U.S.
Oh,
Whoa.
So 60% is done by it's more than 60% is done by the top 10%.
Well, apparently there's some of us that are keeping them numbers up there.
Yeah. Overachievers.
I'm not mentioning names or anything.
If you're going
but
to do something, do it right.
that's right. Don't do it at all.
Well, Charlie, I've got a couple questions for you here. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
What is the name for the heel of a sock? What is the official name for the heel of a sock?
Oh.
Corn healer, I don't know.
No, it's the gore. That is the gore of a sock is the heel. G-O-R-E. And I got another thing. What is the official name for a group of jellyfish?
Welch's grapefruit juice. I don't know.
No. If there's a bunch of jellyfish, you wouldn't call them a bunch. You wouldn't call them a flock. You would say that is a smack of jellyfish.
A smack.
A smack.
Smack.
A smack. S-M-A-C-K. Smack.
Huh.
It's a whole smack of jellyfish over there.
Okay, no, I'm not going to say it. Did you make that up, or did somebody send that in?
No, that was sent in, and it's I Googled it to make sure it's true, and according to the internet, that's true.
Oh,
That's the
you do
extent
a
of my
little
research.
too.
That's the extent of my research.
You need a new system, I think.
Well, Charlie, it's always fun to chat with you. We'll call you again next week. How's that sound?
I suppose the phone will ring.
All right.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that?
The Technical University of Denmark found that the smell given off by old carpet in an office can make workers dizzy, nauseous, and cause headaches.
I think we have read this.
Yeah.
Or at least a version of this,
don't
because
think
I
so.
remember hearing this.
The old carpets in offices can make people nauseous at work, rather, and cause headaches. I get headaches at work once in a while. You think it's because of the carpet? I don't know. I can't
don't
tell
think
if that's
so.
coming from there or
This
somewhere
this
else.
building that we're in is not all that old.
No,
so I
it's
don't
not.
think it's probably
All right, another fun.
because you need a haircut.
No, I just got a haircut. You
He's
make,
my husband.
you make fun of me.
He's one of these people. He gets a headache. Oh, I need a haircut. I
That is
have a
why I do-
headache.
Yeah, once I get a haircut, then I'm fine. All right, about three. I don't know. I can't explain it. I never said it made any sense. I just
It
know it's
doesn't
true.
make any sense
It's
at
true.
all.
About 3.5. Oh, hey, fun fact for you, Heidi. I forgot the line. Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that?
About 3.5 million text messages are sent every minute in America. None of them by me. I'm not a fan of text messages.
I prefer texting.
I know you do. I'm not a fan of that. Coming up, we're going to talk about eternity and just how long that is. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Time flies when you're having fun, right, Heidi?
Absolutely.
And that's true, because I know
It really does.
when you're having a good time, everything just seems to zip right by. And if you're doing something that's kind of menial and you're just not having fun, it's like, wow, this day is dragging on and on and on and on. Well, I got little bit of information here. They say time is relative, and boy, are they right. Time seems to come to a standstill in some situations. So how long is an eternity? If you think about waiting forever, I'm waiting forever on this. These are things, according to one website, where people feel like the time goes way slower. Time goes slower when you're trying to keep a smile on your face until the flash goes off. So they say, okay, everybody say cheese. Get ready. Okay. No, mom, smile. Okay, now you guys over there, hey, get your fingers out of your mouth. You know, that little time where they're waiting to take the picture, that feels like an eternity.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No.
You're looking at me like I'm nuts right now.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this one? Waiting for the tow truck to show up. This is a time where people said this just feels like it takes forever. You're waiting for a tow truck to come because you had some issue. Another thing where it seems that time stands still, waiting for the results of a pregnancy test. Takes forever. I've never
a stupid list.
Hey, I'm just telling you. I'm reading this. I'm not making it up. Another time where time seems to stand still, the second hour of a Monopoly game.
Oh, yeah.
Those are where I just give up. I purposely lose. I'm like, oh, look at that. I'm going to have to just pay you all this rent. I'm going to leave. You guys can duke this out on your own. All right. Another time where the time stands still, the day before a vacation. Have you ever noticed that? It's time to go. Tomorrow's the big day, and you're like, I just got to get through this one day of work.
Unless you still have a lot of stuff that you need to get ready,
Yeah,
then
that's
that
true.
time flies because you're hustling and trying to get all your stuff packed. And
Kids feel like Christmas Eve is eternity. Oh man, can we just open
I remember
presents
that.
tonight?
I remember being that age and thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna be forever." But now that I'm older, no way. I mean, it's just Christmas is over in a heartbeat. But remember when you were a kid? It would take forever for Christmas to come.
And then the one last thing on exactly how long eternity is, things where you feel like you really have to wait forever, is the wait right after your wife says, "I'll be ready in a minute." That's eternity between then and when she's really ready.
Not for me though, is it?
No,
I don't do that.
it is for our daughter. We get out of the car,
Oh
we're
my
ready to go. Like,
gosh.
she was the one that was in a hurry.
Yeah.
She wants to be to school on time. Why are we waiting for her? All right, love you, Taylor. Coming up here in a bit, we've got some beautiful music, or not so beautiful music, in the news.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
If at first you don't succeed, maybe you try to do a worse job the second time. Huh? That's what Chris Wintle thinks. After 2 unsuccessful selling albums, Wintle decided that maybe I'm taking the wrong approach. I'm trying too hard. He came to the conclusion that his piano playing needed to get worse.
What?
He's hoping to become a success with a CD it's called Out of Tune Christmas Carols.
What?
Featuring him hammering out bad notes on the piano. His record company bosses believe the tracks, Walkin' on a Wintle Wonderland, that's the name of his album, his last name is Wintle, are so awful they could be huge sellers for the novelty market. Record producer Bob King says it's absolute garbage. And that's the highest compliment I can find. There's a skill in playing as badly as Chris is playing in this, and he's done the top job. He's going to be a big star.
Oh my gosh.
So he has an out-of-tune Christmas CD, thinking that like the White Elephant Gift Exchange might be, and who knows, it might be. Again, the thing is called Walking in a Wintle Wonderland. That's his last name, Wintle. I'm going to have to see if I can find that. Coming up, the break of yawn. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
When I say the name Andy Taylor, who do you think of?
I've never heard that name.
What was the guy's name on WKRP? Wasn't his name Andy Taylor?
Andy Travis.
Oh, there we go. Well, Andy Taylor was also the sheriff on the Andy Griffith Show. He was Andy Taylor.
Okay.
I knew he was, but I was thinking, you're right, it was Andy Travis. Anyway, there's a different Andy Taylor, neither of those, and he works at a bakery. None of that had anything to do with any of this. But he won't be going back for a couple weeks after he dislocated his shoulder.
Yikes.
Nothing odd about that, except for the fact that he dislocated his shoulder while yawning at work. He did pulled one of his arms up in the air like that thing, and he pulled his right arm out of socket while it was stretched out in the staff break room at the bakery. He works at one in England. His coworkers thought he was joking around. He was in there for 20 minutes, doubled over in pain before an ambulance crew finally got there. And he's got 2 weeks off work now while they fix his arm from yawning. So there you go. That's the break of yawn I was talking about. So just be really careful out there. Don't yawn, especially during this program. Come on. All right, coming up, we've got an interesting new thing going on in Japan we're going to talk about. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Heidi, would you consider me a guy that's like always on the cutting edge of what are the latest trends are? No, not at all. That's not, and you're not either. We're not people who check the trends to see what we're going to like. We really don't care. We like what we like. The TV programs that everybody else is watching. Most of the time, we don't watch
never
those.
Seen.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to watch what I want to watch. Well, there's a new trend in fashion in Japan. I don't know if it's going to catch on here or not. I can tell you this. I have no interest whatsoever in this catching on because it's bizarre. New hottest trend in fashion for women in Japan, painted armpits.
Ew.
Yeah. The TBC chain of Japanese beauty parlors is offering an armpit painting service, including various artistic designs and glitter sparkling.
I've seen glitter.
I can only imagine. I'm ticklish, so that would not be fun.
I've seen glitter armpits online, and their armpits are really hairy, so it's like just glitter in the hair, which is disgusting.
Yeah, this is not going well. Their parlors often offer a hair removal service for 10,000 yen. I don't know how much that is.
$4.18.
Is that what it is? I don't know what it is. With the painting costing an extra 3,600 yen. This includes powder and gels in gold and blue and pink. Glittery sealants, which protect the artwork, will cost another 2,000 yen.
Wow.
So there you go. If you're looking for something a little different for Christmas, maybe you buy Grandma.
That's very different.
Buy Grandma a gift certificate for an armpit painting. Hey, Grandma. Just to show you how much I love you, I thought you might use this. It's the latest and greatest, and I know how you like to be on the cutting edge.
Gosh.
Glittery armpits for everyone.
That's funny.
Yeah, not so much. Coming up, we've got some good news on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Good news, Heidi.
Okay.
We always try to end this program with some good news. Always try to find something positive. Now, before we get to this story, I need to preface this with the fact that we are sports idiots. We don't know anything about sports.
Right.
I don't.
Correct.
You don't. Neither one of us. So when I read this, I hope I say everything correctly in here because I want to make sure that this young lady gets all the credit that she is due. But I'm going to read it word for word, even though I don't know what most of this means. After Jaden Newmark sunk 2 deep threes and a running floater... I'm just hoping this is all sports related because I don't know. Otherwise, that sounds really bad. Downey Christian High School's season opener was stopped to honor their star's latest feat. The story goes on. At just 11 years old, Newman had just notched her 1,000th varsity point. Again, she's 11 years old.
All right.
The latest basketball phenomenon is out of Orlando, Florida, and she's a 6th grader. Newman has played on her school's varsity team since the 3rd grade. Last year, at age 10, the point guard averaged 30.5 points and 9.2 assists per game.
Do you remember there even being varsity and junior varsity in grade school?
I don't know.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't know that it is grade school. I don't know. I have no clue.
You just said the varsity team since 3rd grade.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Well, I don't remember there being a varsity team in 3rd grade.
But she might have been playing on the varsity team, even though she's in 3rd grade. They might have just, let her.
I don't think so.
But I'm saying it certainly could be. Absolutely could be. So anyway, this is absolutely amazing. This young lady is just kicking some tail on the old basketball court. So good job,
That's
Jaden.
pretty cool.
Now, here's something that's interesting. Think about this. One of the names that is most synonymous with basketball, Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Like when you say that name, everybody, you think the guy, that's the guy. He's Air Jordan, right?
Yeah.
He did not make his varsity team in high school.
I know.
Did you know
He
that?
didn't even. Yeah, no, I did know that.
So he wasn't even on the varsity team. He wasn't good enough. And then you got this youngster here, 11 years old.
Did he even make the team? He wasn't even. Was he on the team or just not on varsity? I don't think he made the team.
I'm a sports moron. How do I know any of this? I just read that statistic somewhere. All I know is hats off to Jaden Newmark. I think it's awesome that you're doing as well as you're doing, and you keep it up, kiddo. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. When you get there, you're going to see they've got some gift subscriptions this time of year. So if you don't shave, but you love this concept, and you're going, I don't need to shave because I'm a female, or I don't need to shave because I don't grow beards. Or for whatever reason that you don't shave. First of all, how cool would that be if you never had to shave? Mm-hmm. But if you are a person who doesn't shave, I guarantee you know somebody that does. And this would be a gift that person would like. So check it out, dollarshaveclub.com/radio. There's some important Christmas discoveries. You ready for this?
Yes.
There's no such thing as having too many extension cords. There's an important Christmas discovery.
Okay.
Another one. If you try to replace a missing bulb from an old string of bulbs, they won't match. So buy a new strand of bulbs. If you plug in more than 7 strands of big outdoor lights into one extension cord, you'll burn up those little fuses on the plugs. There's an important Christmas discovery. Always test your lights before you spend all the time to untangle them.
Yeah, and before you spend the time to stick them on the tree.
Yeah. Check them first. Another Christmas discovery. If you're getting ready to decorate, maybe you've already done this. We've already done this, but if you haven't, after you've tested and retested your strands of lights, climb up on a ladder and hung them on the roof. They're going to stop working as soon as you put the ladder away. Mm-hmm. Just the way it works. We don't decorate the outside of our house anymore.
No, but we just had that problem with our Christmas tree. The whole top part of our tree is not lit.
It is. But now we're going to leave it because we saw Brian Regan, the comedian, and he was talking about how he does it. And he was explaining why the top of his tree is dark, and he had this great explanation. So I nudged Heidi. I was like, there you go.
That's the story with our tree.
We're no longer going to mess with that. The outlet.
I have to say, by the way, if you have not seen Brian Regan, if you've never seen any of his comedy, you've got to Google him. Yeah, just
Google him. He's hilarious. We saw him in Sioux City, Iowa. He was there on Sunday.
We
got
brilliant.
A chance to go see him. And we got to meet him ahead of time. And this is not the first time we've met him. We met him a couple times. But Heidi gave him a gift.
Every time
we see him, she gives him something. And I kind of feel sorry for this guy. If he's got a box somewhere labeled creepy stuff from stalkers, you probably got the most stuff in there. I'm just saying. You got that going for you. So explain to the folks on our podcast here. This is what's nice about listening to the bonus break. We couldn't talk about this on the radio. But what did you give him on Sunday?
I gave him a Panda that I bought a little voice recorder, and then I recorded part of one of his acts, and I took the seam out of the paw and I stuck it in there so when you squeeze the paw, you can hear Brian's voice. And
stuffed animal surgery, folks.
Yeah, and then I made a great big huge name tag to put on it because it's one of his. It was adorable.
It was kind of an inside
thing.
He
liked it.
Yeah, he liked it. All right. Did you notice the 3 giant steps back that he took as soon as you handed it to him? I noticed that. Anyway, hey, let's move on to the, what were we talking about again? Oh, yeah. Oh, the reason that we were mentioning the top of our tree was out. He was talking about when he said, I'm not good at math and doing the whole, this many strands of lights and how much. So he said, I just start decorating from the bottom. And when I get close to the end, however much left, I string it to the top. And I just say that's a family tradition. The dark part, that's to represent all the people who are not celebrating Christmas this year. Anyway, moving along. The outlet where you need to plug in the lights will always be on the other side of the house. That is so true. When they build houses, they should put outlets all over the place just for Christmas lights. And I know some people do that because they're smart. And some of them put them up in the eaves even. Like they have outlets up there just for Christmas lights. Mm-hmm. Great idea. I mean, that costs, an extra $4 when you're building a house?
It would be a great idea if the person you were married to actually took the lights down after Christmas.
No, I put them up and I just blended them in I made them white and I made them blend in with our eaves and I left them.
It looked awful.
Nobody else even noticed, except for the fact that I kept
Everybody noticed.
They were up till June. I remember one year.
One year you took them down right before it was time to put them back up.
They were up and they quit working. Because I was like, hey, I don't even need to decorate this year. I'm ahead of the game. So it's like November 15th. And I go out there and I plug them in and the lights don't work. So I was literally in my front yard November 15th taking down my Christmas lights from last year. My neighbor came over and goes, "Are you serious? You're taking them down now?" They survived this long. I was like, yeah, something's wrong with them. I think I'm going to quit decorating the outside of the house. And kids, that's why we don't decorate the outside of our house anymore. All right, and a couple other things. Christmas lights only blink when you don't want them to. I've noticed that, too. Like, hey, I got this twinkle lights. These are going to twinkle. They're going to blink. They're going to be awesome. The little lights aren't twinkling, Clark. Thanks for noticing. All right, on the box of lights, it says steady illuminating bulbs remain lit even if one bulb burns out. They don't tell you what that means is if 2 bulbs burn out, you are screwed. All right, and finally on the list here, never ever try to reuse your Christmas lights from last year. They just don't work that way. Just throw them away and start over every year. And if you're going to get rid of Christmas lights, our neighbor taught us something really cool. We have a fire pit in our backyard. So we would have a little fire, and then you throw your Christmas lights in there.
That's actually very cool, yeah.
And your Christmas lights, for whatever reason, make your little fire pit all these really cool colors, and then it just burns them up. So it's like, wow, that's really kind
beautiful.
of a neat thing.
Yeah,
so
it's very cool.
If you do have Christmas lights you're getting rid of, don't throw them away. Burn them in a fire pit.
Yep.
So there you go. A little tip from Uncle John and Aunt Heidi. That's going to do it for your bonus break. I've got a lot more other stuff to talk about, but you know what? You guys you deserve for me to quit stuttering for today, so I'm going to just stop. We're going to move on. Thanks for listening to the bonus break, brought to you by our friends at the Dollar Shave Club. Learn more. Sign up. $3 a month. I mean, it's an awesome deal. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.